Throughout the years, the USA Railroad has some special painted locomotives that attracts rail fans' attention. One example would be the heritage units, such as 1982, the Mopac heritage unit, and 1983, the Western Pacific heritage unit. Sometimes even the special interest engines catch the attention, such as 1979 or 1943. But among these special painted locomotives on UP's roster, there is one engine that is not special to the railroad itself, but also to the country of the United States. What is this locomotive? What's the backstory of it? And so, this is for today's documentary. Here's the story of Union Pacific 4141, the presidential locomotive. The SC-60s was a successor to the failure SC-50. With the SC-60s production beginning in 1985, many railroads such as the Union Pacific and Norfolk Southern began purchasing these locomotives for their freight service. However, throughout the years, they're beginning to show their age, and the railroads wanted a more powerful model for their freight service. So beginning in late 1992, EMD decided to start the SC-70 series models, starting as the standard cab of the SC-70s, but throughout the years, they will start making more variants of the SC-70s. One popular SC-70 series model was the SC-70 Max, which was the bigger version of the SC-70s. Railroads such as the Burlington Northern, Conrail, and KCS started buying these locomotives. But throughout the years, the Max was showing their age, and railroads wanted the AMD to make a new model which was the successor to the SC-70 Max. So in 2004, AMD released the SC-70 Ace model into the catalog series. These SC-70 Aces have 4,300 horsepower and were the perfect successor to the SC-70 Max. All railroads in North America would purchase these models. Even other countries would purchase these models. One of the railroads would be the Union Pacific. And this is where our story begins. The Union Pacific 8423 is an SC-70 Ace locomotive built by EMD in July 2005. As Union Pacific purchased these SC-70 Aces into two batches, with 8423 being part of the first batch, including 517 other Aces. The locomotive will be placed on Union Pacific's main line instead of wearing the private paint scheme, but that locomotive will be wearing the private paint scheme for too long. On October 18, 2005, the locomotive was officially unveiled at the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library and Museum, where paint scheme is based on that of Air Force One, with the lettering reading George Bush 41, referencing George H.W. Bush being the 41st President of the United States. 8422 will be renumbered to 41 and 41, which was previously occupied by a SC-70M, which is now renumbered to 3778. The locomotive will be on display for a while before being placed into revenue service, and even George H.W. Bush would drive the locomotive briefly. Who thought a former president would drive a locomotive for the Union Pacific? Already a great start for this SC-70 Ace. And so now for the next few months, nothing special happened to the 4141 until November 2005, where it was chosen to put a Union Pacific excursion throughout the state of Texas. After holding the excursion throughout the state of Texas, the locomotive was later placed back into freight service, and the engine will be placed on many of the unique laptops on the Union Pacific, just as being paired up with two of six of Union Pacific's heritage units, 1988 and 1982, and even pairing up with different locomotives from different railroads, such as Canadian National, for example. At this point, this engine's life is not any ordinary life, it's a special and unique life on the Union Pacific. The 4141 will be also involved in many special trains, such as a office train for the state of Arizona and being involved in the safety train? What the fuck? In other words, the locomotive's life was perfect as usual, and nothing can ruin it. Until 2009, where the locomotive will be placed into Union Pacific stores in North Little Rock, Arkansas, along with the other UP locomotives as part of the financial crisis of 2007 through 2010. It will stay in stores until 2012, when it was removed from stores for a single round trip running from North Little Rock to Chicago, before returning back to storage again. The engine would stay at Union Pacific stores at North Little Rock, Arkansas for the years, never seeing a turn of her wheel again, until December 2018, where something happened that would change her life forever.
News Special Report. The death of President George Herbert Walker Bush.
I'm Linda Lopez at ABC News headquarters here in New York. We are coming on the air because we have some very sad breaking news. George Herbert Walker Bush, the 41st president of the United States, has died at the age of 94. And his death comes just 7 months after burying.
On November 30th, 2018, unfortunately, 41st President George E.W. Bush had passed away in his home in Houston, Texas. The cause of his death was Parkinson's disease. It was a heartbreaking move for the country of its 41st president. But on December of 2018, the University of Maryland decided to honor his passing by doing something they never done before in a long time. They decided to do something called a funeral train. To some extent, a funeral train carries a coffin or coffins to a place of interment by railway. Funeral trains today are often reserved for leaders, national heroes, or government officials. The first funeral train happened in the United States was in 1865, when 16th President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. It's been a long time ever since the country had a funeral train, ever since the death of Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1969. Until many years later in 2018, they got the funeral train for George H.W. Bush. Spring, Texas, December 6, 2018, George H.W. Bush's body was loaded onto the train, and once the body was loaded, the train got underway, departing Spring, Texas, bound for College Station, Texas. During his trip to College Station, Texas, many Americans were standing by the track to see the funeral train passing by, with many of them having their phones out and some of them waving the American flag proudly as ever as the train passes by with George's body loaded onto the train. It was something that never seen in their life ever since the funeral train of Dwight D. Eisenhower in '69. Many people cheered loud as long as the train passes by, honoring the 41st President of the United States of America, making his final trip to College Station, Texas. The train soon arrived at College Station, Texas, making the 41st President's final trip completed. On December 9th through 12th of 2018, the locomotive will be displayed to show off the people, the locomotive, and Bush's body. You think the locomotive will get more famous? You'll be right, as the engine went on a system-wide tour with stops in Chicago, Fort Worth, Houston, Kansas City, Los Angeles, North Platte, Pine Bluff, North Little Rock, Ogden, Portland, Roosevelt, and St. Louis. Following the tour, it returned to active service. In addition, it will be displayed in other locations. On November 8, 2019, the USA Railroad donated the 4141 to the George H.W. Bush Presidential Library Museum, same place where the locomotive was unveiled, and it will be permanently displayed in the pavilion. The locomotive made its last run from November 8th to 9th, traveling from Houston to Palestine, Texas, as part of the Southwest Tour behind the most recently restored Big Boy 4014. Following the last run, it was taken back to North Little Rock shops to be prepared on display. On March 12, 2021, the locomotive arrived back at College Station. The remaining one-stop 4141 locomotive pavilion was opened at June 13, 2024, in time for George H.W. Bush's 100th birthday. Finally, the age of 14th of the locomotive's revenue life had ended, and now she resides at George H.W. Bush Presidential Library and Museum as of 2024, marking the end of her life on Union Pacific, making it stand out as one of the most important and famous locomotives on Union Pacific, which is why I call this locomotive the Presidential Locomotive. Rest in peace, George H.W. Bush. You've been loved by all of us Americans.